Greetings and welcome to A Moment of Grace. Hi, I'm Reverend Steve Ostendorf, pastor of Grace United Church of Christ in Taneytown, Maryland. We welcome you to our daily devotions. This week we've been moving through the letter of James and his instructions to the church on faithfulness and how to live as Christians. First, we listen to where do we get our wisdom from, who is wise among us, and those who have lived a good life that is worthy of us emulating, and that would be a life that is faithfulness and truth. Then we looked at avoiding temptations and realizing where temptation comes from, and that is not maybe so much outside things that tempt us, but it's the temptation comes from within us, and we must guard ourselves with that, especially in these tricky times that we live in now. Today we're going to look at a passage from James that talks about how we communicate with each other, and that will be key as we continue to move into the weeks ahead and come back to be in society together. And so listen to these words from James that come from the first chapter, verses 19 through 21. And James says, "You must understand this, my beloved. Let everyone be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. For your anger does not produce God's righteousness. Therefore, rid yourselves of all sordidness and rank growth of wickedness, and welcome with meekness the implanted word that has the power to save your souls." The words of James. Well, friends, I give thanks for these words of James this week. As you know, in our church, we're even talking about where are next steps for us as a community of faith. Are we allowed, is it safe for us to open up and to have church again in our building? And if we do, what precautions must we take? And there are lots of opinions out there before we even have this conversation. It's all out. Different churches are writing about their experiences. Different denominations have set out guidelines. Different medical experts have been quoted on what things we should and should not do. And this is not just the case for the church, but is for the opening up of our country as well. There is lots of discussion out there, and it's in all different areas of expertise, and some people speaking who have zero expertise, but only a desire to see things, and we need to pay attention to that as well. But what's interesting here from James is that we need to pursue these conversations with some caution, to do some listening before we speak. We've all been kind of stuck in our homes with stay-at-home orders, and we're all very anxious to get out. We're all tired of the situation, and with that comes angst and anger, and people are easily angered in this time. It was seemingly noticed easily on social media, a post from our governor about the things that we were doing, and there were people who were all over the place with that. And if it comes to politics, it was politics from the left and right, both were angry with the governor. And then there were just a few people in the middle who were trying to be peacemakers and trying to get people to at least listen to what the man has to say and listen to where he's getting his information from. And so that person who made that response is kind of sort of really filling in here and saying a similar thing that James is saying, is that we need to be slow to speak, and that we need to be more clear in how we listen. And then when we speak, we need to speak with love and respect, and even with some meekness and humility. None of us are all going to get this right, because we all have our own desires of where we want things to be. We all have our own beliefs of how real or not real this virus is and what threat it actually poses to people. And we need to be respectful that people are in different places here. So my hope is in referring to this piece from James, we can remind ourselves that even though we're very anxious to speak and give our own opinions and our own thoughts on where things need to be, I think first we need to spend some time in listening in all meekness and humility before we speak. And when we speak, speak with compassion and love. This goes for all of our conversations as we start to step outside of our homes and back into life. People are on a thin line of tension and ready to explode. And we can be peacemakers in a way by being slow to speak and being eager to listen. As people are able to get things out, we get to a place where then we are also more able to listen. Well, may it be so for you. May you be a peacemaker in your week, and we'll have a message on peacemakers coming up shortly. But may God add a blessing to your day. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Gracious and eternal God, we know that there is great tension among all people right now. We are so very tired of where life has been for the last 9 weeks. And many are eager to get out, and many are afraid. And we do not know all things, for information that is out there, O God, is sometimes incorrect and deliberately incorrect. Help us not to be misguided, but help us also, O God, to take a moment of pause in meekness and humility and listen to one another so that we can again become a community of people who love and care for one another. Bless us in that way, and bless us, O God, with a great gesture of patience and kindness in our own hearts that we may share with the world. For we lift our prayer in Christ's name. Amen. Well, thank you for joining with us today, my friends. We look forward to seeing you back here again really soon as we finish out our week with the teachings of James. May God add a blessing to your day, and may God be with you always. See you soon.